Hello everyone, Chris here. I decided to spend next 10 hours learning Ramattra, and these are my results. As Season 5 is coming to an end, I decided to give myself a little bit of balance in my Overwatch life, and instead of spending all my time playing my favorite role, DPS and support, I wanted to invest some time into playing the tank, but unfortunately in the current scenario there are not too many options on the list. You would want to play Wrecking Ball? Well, good luck winning your games, because this character takes so much skill for the value it brings to the team. You wanna play Reinhardt? Well, you're gonna get countered by Orisa and Ramattra, and this is exactly why I chose this OP character. Let's go. So usually it takes about a few hours to really get into a flow of the character, to feel the buttons, to really understand the pros and cons, possibilities and limitations, to finally get an idea of what you are capable and not capable of. And my second hour with Ramattra was exactly like this. I felt like I am on the playground, I felt like I am trying out stuff, and it's very interesting how this character, besides the fact that he is super duper easy to utilize, is just completely overpowered if you know basic mechanics. I tried doing Reinhardt previously, and let me tell you, Reinhardt is at least twice as hard mechanically and in terms of the understanding of the game in comparison with Ramattra. It's very, very interesting how your perception of the game and the tank role changes tremendously when you swap from Winston to Doomfist to Wrecking Ball to Reinhardt and then to Ramattra. I absolutely tried playing those dive tanks and recorded a 10-hour challenge video, but they are just absolutely not for me. I absolutely hate playing Doomfist, I absolutely hate playing Wrecking Ball, but somehow when I would play Ramattra, I always would try to give myself a duo. I would go for Ana player and we would just go in, I would just 3-1 nano, he would just heal me, because usually what happens when you're playing in solo queue is that you would just be in a situation where you would get Lucio Moira, you would get Mercy Moira, and you're playing Ramattra, and you know, you just don't want to play, you just don't want to play. It feels like the tank role has the least amount of carry potential throughout the whole ranks, because when I was playing Reinhardt, even though my mitigated damage was about 15k, I could not find myself a situation where I would be able to solo carry my games, because it feels like in lower level publics, it's all about your damage dealt and space created, and it feels like Ramattra does both these things in a very nice manner. His ultimate is just exceptionally strong when it comes to push maps, it's just exceptionally strong when it comes to getting people away from their desired spots, getting people away from the points, and eventually they will either die facing your ultimate or just C9, which is very, very interesting. And I've had some occasions where Ramattra ultimate was so overpowered, it was just absolutely insane. Here we're going for a nice combination with EMP plus just insane amounts of damage on the enemy team. I am juking this Orisa using my robot, and we were able to get this W. It's interesting how when you are playing in a duo or a trio or a full stack environment, your games are ultimately at least 2 times harder than they were solo. Sometimes your players go from being completely silent when you are playing alone and you are the only person that's giving comms and the only person that's speaking to when you are going into a duo mode. Everyone talks in a microphone, everyone's giving info, everyone is so passionate, and it feels like everyone just enjoys the game. Maybe I am getting lucky in that sort of thing or something else, but these are my observations. As well as I just absolutely hate playing tank alone. You never get the right support you want, and when you ask for a certain one, like I personally would always ask for Ana, you have 2 e-girls that are just trying to e-date and they're playing Mercy Moira and they are like teehee in a Discord with their e-boy, and I'm here trying to like go for Nano Ramattra ult, and nothing is ultimately working, and we are just dying from cringe, you know? Ramattra is a very overpowered tank. I wouldn't say that he is an S tier, and certainly there are better options for maps with verticality. There are better options with maps that require you to play Sigma, which are Havana, Circuit Royale, and Junkertown. But when it comes to control of the point maps, some push maps, he is a great option, especially when you can land yourself a duo who's gonna play like Ana Brig or who's gonna play Ana Lucio. So either your Ana is gonna be permanently protected, or you will just end up in a situation where you can speed boost and get that momentum to really destroy your competition. As you can see, we are going for a complete domination of our opponents here. This Life Weaver was just not ready for me. Boom, a nice melee to finish him off. I'm looking at my highlights, and hour by hour, they become so much better than they were before. I actually don't know how to explain it. I just feel the character a lot more. Notice how I just shielded the fence, so the fence would never shoot me back. Yes, I am a really good player. It's interesting to note that I was about Platinum 1 level when I started this challenge, and I ended up in Diamond 3. I almost got Diamond 2, it was like 80% Diamond 3, which is very interesting. It shows how powerful Ramattra is. Feels like my biggest mistakes of first 3 hours was that I was just mechanically clunky to really use my abilities to their full potential. I would go for the slow before the shield and almost die because of that. I would go into my nemesis form, which is like the shift, the punching one, and then I would miss 3 punches in a row and get no easy kill. Yeah, here we went for the Ramattra ult plus Lucio speed amp plus Nano, and this is a wicked combination. There is not a single character that can run away from you in that state. Here I'm getting spared by Arisa, and notice how people are usually going Arisa versus Ramattra thinking that this is going to be a great counter, but in reality it is absolutely not like that. After he uses his gold skin, you can actually call out in chat that Arisa has only windmill, and then you would just go and destroy her, especially if you have Zenyatta as your support. Arisa becomes, instead of being like this unkillable brick that just stands in the middle of nowhere and just getting pocketed by one support and staying alive forever, it becomes this very easy, very punchable punching bag. We're going for another Nano Remold, a lot of flashing, a lot of everything, but this is gonna be a play of the game. We got 2 minutes on the clock, and they are still somehow stalling the point for some time, but yeah, I'm missing like 1 punch, 2 punches, and then I would miss more. It is just a disaster. I'm still very far from being a great Ramattra player in terms of my mechanics and stuff. Here we are going for defense, and I'm catching the grab. I got nanoed, unfortunately, because I did not have my nemesis form to really follow up on that. They got 2 picks on us, and I am going for my ult, and here I made a huge mistake. I did not kill Ana, and this is gonna cost us the round. This guy is nanoed, and we are sort of like exchanging punches, but nothing really happens, and I'm just dying from cringe. For some reason, they just weren't able to really capitalize on that thing, or maybe the first 2 picks were on our side, but yeah. Here I'm just catching Ana lagging because he or she went out of line of sight of her Life Weaver, so there was no heal besides the passive support healing. And honestly, I have no idea how am I alive there. There is not a single thing that can save me, yet I am alive and safe. Made a mistake by throwing the slowing nade a little bit closer than it should be, and yeah, I should have died here, but a great anti from my duo with a healing nade, and here I'm like, yo, kill the Weaver, and he's just one, and sometimes I feel like I just absolutely don't deserve to play this game with the punches I'm missing and stuff. It is just a complete disaster. Nice Cassidy grenade that never should have stuck to me, but it did. Oh god, I'm actually very excited for the Season 6 changes when they will buff his HP and nerf his nade a little bit. It was just a very much a disaster. Right there, I'm pressing my ultimate, getting a very nice kill onto the Ana, but it's just it. The anti is too big for me to handle. Getting revived, died from cringe, and here is gonna be a very nice moment where I'm like, no, don't nano me yet. We have nano ready, but I'm waiting for my ultimate, and he's like, yo, do I nano you? Do I nano you? And I'm like, yeah, let's go for it, man. And here, as you can see, the ultimate is just insane. It's just God's work. If you press that, GG's. Hour 5, and I came into realization that tank 1v1s are the biggest source of human ego when it comes to Overwatch possible. The fact that this dude diffed me 2 times in a row made me so mad, made me so angry that I went extra mile just to kill him like that. I feel like I blocked the shot with my body, and Ana just wasn't able to really heal up the Reinhardt. Here I'm like, yo, Rain is feeding, go. And it's interesting how when you're playing Ramattra versus Reinhardt, it's most of the time just a punching bag. It feels like for Reinhardt to work, he really needs to get himself Mei, and he really needs to get himself Lucio to really get that speed boost plus wall, so you can pin stuff, you can do this and you can do that, and it is just insane. Here I have absolutely no idea how. Live 32 HP, and then I get nanoed again. Magnificent work from my duo player. Without him, I don't think I would be able to not only difficult games like this, but I don't think I would be able to get clutch moments like this, and they are what makes game interesting. It's not interesting getting absolutely destroyed, it's not interesting to destroy noobs, but when you have a very stable, very balanced kind of like game, it feels good. It feels nice. Here we are going for a kill on Reinhardt and getting the rest of the team. He made a mistake by overcommitting here, and yeah, 3 minutes left on the clock, and he uses Shatter. Nice anti from both Anas, and I'm just blocking and praying to get better. Their Reinhardt is actually a very good player. He holds shield, so my ultimate is gonna go down, so he can actually re-engage on me. And after a few swaps where I would go for Arisa and he would go Zarya, and we would go back and forth at it again, we are still Ramattra versus Reinhardt, and this Mei is overcommitting quite tremendously. I'm getting a kill here, and then this dude just decided to like go absolutely psycho on me, and he full shatters me here. Yeah, they used 2 ultimates, but as a result, we will be able to actually win this game. It's gonna be very interesting, and every single time I diff a strong tank, I feel a little bit better inside, even though the tank role is just completely horrible, and it's pain, misery, suffering. Yeah, that was nice. About 4 hours left of the challenge, and we are going for Ramattra on Circuit Royale. Kids, do not try this at home. If you are a tank player, I highly advise you to stick to standard principles, where you would go Winston on control of the point maps, you would go Winston on verticality maps such as Hollywood, Dorado, and Numbani, and you play Ramattra only on certain maps such as King's Row, certain maps such as some control of the point maps where you can't really utilize Winston that much. But here was a Diamond 3 game, plus you multiply that by 2 because it is a duo, and I don't know how it works, but it absolutely works. If they are playing a human being poke comp versus you on Circuit Royale with like Sigma, Baptiste, Zenyatta, Widowmaker, and Hanzo, trust me, you're gonna struggle quite tremendously. But we were lucky enough to... I was lucky enough to get this insane Genji player. Me and him were cooking quite tremendously, and it feels like we ended up almost deathless. So he had like 1 death, I had 2, which was absolutely insane for tank and DPS, especially when we are so exposed, so squishy. Here is what I'm talking about. They went Arisa for some reason again, and our Zenyatta player just makes his life as miserable as you possibly can. He's permanently Discord orbed, and after he wastes his skin, there is just nothing to save him. There is just absolutely nothing to save him. It's very interesting how I am using the punch block tech a lot more after hour 5, and I feel like I have watched some pro players do that, and I'm like, yo, do I feel like I am worse than that to like do it? Here's the play of the game of this particular match. I'm going for the Pharah, we went for the Bastion. It is like, it's outerworldly how nice it is to kill a Bastion out of his form, and he's just like completely melts down as this little robot. It is actually so nice. Here we are punching Arisa, and she has no cooldowns, as well as we are playing Sombra, so this is a complete disaster for him. This is exactly why I hate playing tank, because every single time you do, you have to swap, because opponents are aware, opponents know what to do. Hour 7, Antarctic Peninsula, and this is a Ramattra mirror. That was a very quick match, and although I was playing with Mercy Zen right from the start, it feels like I was just so much better than my competition. Not only there was a tank gap, but there was just a team gap as well. Look what happens to this poor guy when he is Discord, or it is brutal. You don't want to try that at home. Luckily for this Tracer, he was able to blink out just in time for my punch to never connect, and here it feels like I'm just gonna go and ult this guy. Nice. Nah, this is a complete disaster. I actually wanted to speak about best counters to Ramattra that I have personally found. I found it very difficult to play versus Hog. It seems very counterintuitive, but Hog makes your life a little bit worse than it usually is. In terms of the support, Ana Zen is probably the worst combination that you can run versus. It is brutal. It is completely brutal. In terms of the DPS, I would say that there is not many DPS that can make your life miserable. It's always like bad playing versus a good drunk rat player who can trap you, but you have the defense mechanism. You have the mechanism that will allow you to survive pretty much every situation. You just like press shift and then press right click, and you are safe and sound pretty much versus everything in the game. Other than that, I would say that yeah, Ramattra is a very good character, not only because he has great offense and defense, but not too many bad matchups. And this is also very important. Very, very important. In terms of the characters that you can ask your team to play, I feel like the most beneficial for you is gonna be Ana. Of course, I already said it. Ana Zen is a great combination at the moment, or Ana Brig if they are going dive, such as Winston, Tracer, Sombra, Echo. Ana Brig will allow you to keep your Ana safe, and ultimately you are gonna be safe as well, because there is a chain reaction. Imagine you are playing Ana Mercy and your support is getting constantly dove by Monkey, and there is just nothing you can do to save yourself. Here is another example of Arisa versus Zenyatta and how horrible it actually is. It is just not... I wouldn't say it's completely unplayable, but I would certainly have zero fun playing that way. I would certainly have zero fun playing that way. When you are playing Ramattra, it feels like you have some mechanisms to like protect yourself from Zenyatta, and you are not as vulnerable as you would. Here's a very nice left click. We got the kill onto the Reaper. This dude was absolutely out of position, and nice that you can sometimes punish opponents for stupid plays that they are making. You are not only winning more games by yourself, but you are making sure that overall player base is becoming stronger, because every single time a person would make a mistake and get punished for it, he's gonna learn a lesson and never do that in the future, hopefully, if he's not an idiot. Here we are solo ulting this Ana unapologetically, and my Reaper just comes in with Nano and just boom boom. This player was so nice. I watched the play of the game. He never missed a single bullet in that team fight, and as a result we were able to completely cook our competition. Notice how Orisa wasting all his cooldowns and now he's super killable. That is nice. That is exactly how you should play Ramattra. Our 9, and we are going for another Blizzard world, and here is gonna be an uncut version of us taking the first point. First of all, I am clearing the high ground, so Hanzo cannot stand there and gain so much value out of that. Then this Zenyatta player decides to overcommit. Reinhardt goes in with a clutch shield, but Zenyatta is just so stupid to never go back, and he gets completely punished for it. I'm wasting 2 of my cooldowns thinking that Ramattra, or excuse me, Reinhardt is gonna be close right, but he never is. And as you can see, Reinhardt is just a massive punching bag when you are playing Ram versus Rain, and this dude will never swap the character, so I have a free game. I have a free game in that regard. It's interesting how some people would still play their favorite character despite the counters, despite everything, and they would still gain a lot of not success, but they are gonna be very well off. And some players are even in top 500 just one-tricking one character, and they don't care about what someone is playing against them. They just learn how to play against that, they adapt, they understand the possibilities and limitations, and just go for it. My Echo cleared up the rest of the team, so I'm going for Nano Reinhardt. Here was a very interesting moment where even though the dude would pin me, I am still very well alive and safe. Zenyatta comes in with clutch, but I am just there, and my buttons are a lot better than his buttons, so ultimately speaking, he's just gonna suffer tremendously. Here I'm blocking some damage and ready for getting ready for an EMP. That was not a great one, honestly. I thought it's gonna be a little bit better than that, but he messed up with his translocator. He should have just stayed in this, like scouted a little bit more, but yeah, it is what it is. We are going for a nice finish off onto the 3rd point with a minute on the clock, and here I made a mistake. We held close and I got absolutely destroyed, but my team was able to stabilize, and we are fighting for the first point still. It's very interesting how or what's gonna happen here, where I'm gonna be like yo C9 C9 C9, so I'm going for this Reinhardt, right? And I almost kill him, and then I kill him with my punch again, just a swag on him. We're going for Ana, and I'm just killing the rest of the team. We're going for the Cassidy, and I'm like yo C9 C9. Oh, it's gonna be right here, it's gonna be right here. Yeah, we kill this guy, we kill this guy. Mei walls me off and almost caps the point. I'm like millisecond away to and there is no one to save us. There is literally no one to save us, man. It was such a clutch moment. It was such a clutch moment, and they just could not able to really do anything against us. They would play Reinhardt Mei, they would go Echo, they would copy me, but I don't know, it is just utterly impossible for them to get any value out of that comp, and it's horrible. It's horrible, but it is life. They still have 1 minute on the clock to really like do something, but feels like never gonna work. Here I'm like yo keep me up, put me in, coach, put me in, coach. I'm pressing my ultimate, and notice how like it is just a disaster, and it's still going, man. It is just still going. I don't know, Ramattra is just OP. Last hour of the challenge, and it's time to give you my thoughts and ideas about the character. First of all, Ramattra is an A tier tank for sure. There are no S tier tanks at the moment. Probably in season 6 we're gonna have some, but as of the current meta, I don't really believe Ramattra is an absolute S tier tank. Certainly there are characters that counter him, and there is just nothing you can do versus that. It's like Zenyatta, just like some characters, just pretty annoying to play against. Your ultimate can be countered by shields, can be countered by walls, can be countered by Lucio, can be countered by a lot of things, and yes, you can have great value, but In higher tier publics, you're just gonna run into dive comps with Winston Tracer Sombras, and you will not be able to peel for your backline, and ultimately it's gonna lose you games after games after games. The fact that you are, like, look at that ultimate. I just pressed it, they slapped me, and I never was able to catch them. And instead they caught me lacking. But yeah, it was a very nice challenge. I still absolutely hate playing tank. If I were to choose a role that I would never play for the rest of my life, it's definitely gonna be a tank role. I would just play DPS for the rest of my life and gonna be a happy man, and I'm gonna die a happy man. Ramattra is a great character for new players. It's not very high skill ceiling, and it is a pro and a con of this character. For example, when you are a mediocre Ana, you're gonna have 50% win rate. If you are an outstanding Ana player with great aim and understanding, you're gonna have higher win rate. On Ramattra, you're gonna have higher win rate, but there are just better characters for each and every role. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being there. See you in the next one.